Today we're going to look at how to purchase supplies for your Computer Science for Innovators and Makers class. The first thing we'll need to do is navigate to my.pltw.org. Once you are logged in and you are on your dashboard, we're going to go ahead and select the store from our dashboard screen. Once you select the store, it's going to bring you to a page where it asks you to purchase the PLTW equipment. We're going to need to create a list. From the list, we're going to need to select our school site. Depending on your district, you may have several schools listed or just your own school. Select your school that you'll be creating your list for. Select Build List, and from here, we're now going to be able to start building our list for our courses. What we'll need to do is select the program and course that we're going to be building our list for. Since CSIM is a gateway course, we need to select Gateway and then Computer Science for Innovators and Makers. Once that is selected, we're going to need to look at the type of offering, the total students, and our class specs. This is going to be a new unit for most of you since you are now taking the training. The total number of students is how many students you'll be teaching in either a marking period or a semester. So for example, I have 3 sections of CSIM, and in each section there are 30 students. So I have a total of 90 students. From there, we're going to go ahead and customize our list. And when we customize our list, we're going to now see the essential supplies that are needed for our CSIM course. The first item on that list is our Innovators and Makers Deep Dive card set. This is used in Activity 1.1, and it is a very great activity to have, but we don't need to have 3 decks of cards, especially at $35 a piece. We can modify that so that we at least have 1 deck of cards on hand. That can be used from class to class, year to year. They're not going to go bad. We're not going to need to replace them unless they get lost or stolen or misplaced. So 1 deck of cards should be enough for that. The next item that we see on here is our PLTW student pack. If we're not sure what that is, we're going to select the view details because that's nine student packs at $455 each. Maybe I want to see a little bit more. So I'm going to view the full product detail. And here we're going to see that each pack is meant to work with 10 students. In that 10 student pack, you're going to receive 5 microbits, which can be used in pair programming, which means 5 microbits that will accommodate 10 students. And you'll have all the sensors and wires and then things that you're going to need for the course and for your class. So when we look at this, this is a pretty big purchase. So you have a couple of things that you can do here. You can select all 9, or we can modify this a little bit and purchase individual microbits as well. Now for me, my district does not have enough money to go and purchase all of these since we teach multiple gateway classes. So for me, I usually typically select 3. That's going to give me on hand 15 microbits, which can be used in a class of 30. So that will meet one of my class needs. I typically will use those class sets across grade level or across classes, but you do run into problems when you get to some of the projects and problems that you're going to be doing. So I will actually purchase individual microbits to meet those needs. And I'll show you how to do that once we go through this list. The next thing you see is 5-inch 5-pack of needle nose pliers. Right now it's telling me to purchase 45 needle nose pliers. You do not need 45 needle nose pliers. You can maybe even have them at your school or get them somewhere cheaper if you would like. But if you need to purchase any of these, I would suggest for the needle nose pliers, only ordering 1, the seam rippers 1, wire strippers 1. Miscellaneous project and problem items. This is basically going to be your cardboard, plastic, shoe boxes. You can see even though it has 90 here, it has a cost of 0. So we're going to go ahead and uncheck that one. We don't need to have that one listed below. The next thing you'll see is our Gateway notebooks. The Gateway notebooks are fantastic and they're great to use with your students. But again, at $102 for a 30 pack, that's $300 and some dollars for me. I typically like to use composition notebooks, have the kid bring them in. So depending on what you want to do with your notebooks, you could leave it or you could simply uncheck that one. Velcro tape, same as before. You probably have it laying around or you can probably find it somewhere cheaper. You can uncheck it, you can leave it, but it's not an essential item for this. Now, before we move on, what we may want to take a look at are these optional for PLTW programs supplies. So I'm going to select optional and update the filters. And what we'll see here is we have a bunch of new items here that we can look at. Now, the big items that we want to look at purchasing in these optional lists Continuous servos. You only get 3 in a student pack. So I always like to add a few more continuous servos. So as a 2-pack, I may order 5 of them, give me 10 extra continuous servos. Down below, you're going to also see that there is a standard servo. So I'm going to do the same thing with the standard servo. And then from there, you have your e-textile kits, flex sensors, uh, gator pins. All of these come in the kits, but it may be a good idea for you to order a few extra or wait till after the first year you teach it to see if you need to order new supplies. A lot of this stuff is replacement parts. One of the things I will say that you probably want to order, especially if you've only ordered 3 kits, is this microbit 1 unit. What you get with your microbit 1 unit is a microbit and a USB. You won't get all the sensors, but you can purchase individual microbits. So at $17.50, something that I look at doing is I already have 15 microbits. I can go ahead and order an additional 15 or 30 microbits that will kind of fit the needs of my class. I don't need all the sensors. I can use them with a lot of my classes. So I may go ahead and order 20 additional microbits. That will meet those needs. Now, you can go and order extra sensors if you want. For example, your photocell, maybe you want to order a couple extra photocells. They tend to break easy. The buzzers, a 5-pack, maybe order one of them. Potentiometers, all of these you will get in your kits, but if you want to order a couple extra supplies, you can go and do that there. Other than that, there's nothing really essential that you need to purchase other than those items that we discussed. Once we're done with everything we want, we're going to select next list, build our list. We're going to call this CSIM OCT and continue. And from here, you're going to see that we have a total cost of $1,986, and we're going to go ahead and purchase that. Don't worry if you click purchase, you're not going to get billed for it. It's not going to be sent out. It's basically going to bring you to more of an itemized list where we can still change the quantity and we can make some changes if we want to. So this will give you a nice list of what you see and what you ordered, what you selected, and your final cost. We're going to go ahead and go to checkout. And once you go to your checkout, this is where you are going to need to input some billing information. Now, all of this can be handled differently depending on your district. So you need to find out your district policy on how to order supplies. But the big thing is, as you get down here, you'll have your shipping address, contact information, payment options. If your district has a credit card that they give you, you can use the credit card or a purchase number or a purchase order. You will need to put that PO number in here and upload your PO once it is approved by your district. Once all of that is done and you select review order, that is when your orders will be ordered, supplied, and then shipped out. So basically, that is how you can order your materials through the PLTW website.